Okay, hello, my friends. I think I've got everybody live in one spot. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check my tech, and then we are going to dive into today's training. There I am. I see myself in my group. Awesome. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. Okay, I'm a little nervous. I'm just going to say this before I dive into everything because today I am doing a new thing in my business. So, these live trainings, I've encouraged you guys to come on and toss your comments in the chat, throw your questions in the chat. Well, now we're getting serious about it. So, I am formally inviting you every week from now on. The format is going to be 11:30 Central will be my live training. I'm going to do 15-ish minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of an actual training, good content to give you something to help you with your business. And then we're going to do 10 to 15 minutes of live Q&A. And I said to the Business Visibility Made Easy students this morning, just a little bit ago, I was like, this may be the best idea I've ever had. This may be the worst idea I've ever had, and it could be the end of my career. So you're here to witness it in real time, but we're just going to see how it goes. I do have a couple of questions that people have sent in. In fact, I've got them right here on my sticky notes. I'm going to put those over there because I know Jane asked a question and Anna put in a question. So that's the format. Okay. Let's dive in. As you guys know, I've got Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn down here on my laptop, and I've got Instagram up here on my iPhone. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's what's going on. And I'm shaking things up. I said on one of my social media posts in our group, shaking up the snow globe. My friend Ron McKay said that this week, and I thought it was hilarious. He was talking about a career change he's got going on, and I thought that was a great way to say that. But basically this change, I'm sorry, these sticky notes are wanting to come off my laptop. This change came about based on feedback you guys gave me, and I want to be available to you to answer your questions. So your question doesn't have to be necessarily about the topic that I'm discussing. You can ask me anything. Obviously, it has to be business related. You want to talk about list growth, sales, marketing, networking, collaborations, podcast guest spots, mindset things, content help, lead magnet ideas. You get the picture. Now, there's only so much we can cover in a live Q&A. So if your question is in depth or super broad, if your question is super broad, we may have to break it down a little bit. This is where you may need to DM me and I can DM you back with some answers. But essentially that's the format. And you can ask me anything about your business. Try to be as clear and concise as you can with your question. Give me a little backstory on you and then ask your question. The other cool thing that tends to happen, especially in my Facebook group, and if you're not in this group, you need to be in it, Instagrammers, YouTubers, LinkedIners, be a confident entrepreneur, get visible and grow your income is the name of my group. You can promote your offers. You can get support in real time from other members with questions you have and support from me anytime. So the thing that tends to happen in our group is that other members know the answer because, and I told this to the students this morning too. I said on our live Q&A call, our group coaching call, I said, I'm afraid that somebody's going to ask me a question I don't know the answer to. I mean, are you human and you feel that too? As a coach, as a course creator, as an entrepreneur, you're like, what if or maybe you're a doctor in a medical office, for goodness sake, and you're thinking, what if somebody asks me a question I don't know the answer to? So there I am. That's how I'm feeling. But if you ask me a question I don't know the answer to, the coolest thing is there's probably a member of my group that does know the answer, and they will hop in and they will support you and they will save me from looking like a complete doofus. Okay, so the format is 10 to 15 minutes of training, 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A. So if you're on with me now, Instagram, put your questions in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't see them because it's going by so fast and it's on my iPhone. But I will see them after this recording is over and I will DM you the answers and we can get you your questions answered, excuse me, that way. And then Facebook, I need you to do me a favor. Right now, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook if you're coming to me through Facebook, because you can post a question in there, but unless you've given StreamYard and Facebook permission for me to see your name, I can't see your name. And that's a bummer because then I don't know who you are. And kind of a lot of you I already know, and I know the backstory on your businesses, and it helps me answer your question even better. So StreamYard.com/Facebook, give permission for those two softwares to talk to each other. All right. And if you're catching this on replay, pop your questions in the comments. I will see them on LinkedIn. I will see them on YouTube. I will see them in our group. No worries. Today, we are talking all about content marketing. Why it's important. Why does it feel like it takes forever to work? Is it even worth it? and whether or not you're actually doing all of the things needed to have success with it. But first, I want to introduce myself in case this is the first time we've ever met. I am Tracy Beavers. I am your business and sales coach, and I have over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And that experience has helped me coach hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you to get visible and grow your email lists. I offer private one-to-one coaching. I only have a couple of spots left, and those start in April, and an 8-week group coaching program called Business Visibility Made Easy. It is the program for email list growth, and it's opening back up next month. Starting April 13th, the doors will open again with the first round of live masterclasses. If you want to be the first, if you already know this program is for you, and a lot of you do because you've reached out to me over the last few weeks and you've said, hey, when does that program reopen? Hey, I want to grab a spot, because we limit this program to only 30 people. And so people are already asking me, how can I get in? How can I get my seat? So you need to get on the wait list. If you already know that you need list growth this year, and you're tired of making more and more lead magnets, and you don't want to run paid ads, this is the program for you, because I am teaching over 10 strategies in this program that nobody else is teaching. They have nothing to do with paid ads, and they have nothing to do with creating yet another 10 to 20 lead magnets, right? I mean, sometimes we feel like we're just pumping out lead magnets right and left, and it's not leading anywhere. Get on the wait list. You will get special offers that nobody else is getting, and you'll get first crack at grabbing your spot. www, I don't know why I just said that, tracybeavers.com/BVME, and share that link with your business besties and your accountability pod mates, because they will thank you. You can go to that tracybeavers.com/BVME, not only to get on the wait list, but to see everything about the program. All the information is right there, and you can make up your mind before you push the button to get on the wait list whether or not you want to be on it anyway, whether or not it's a program for you. And if you've got questions about it, here's the thing that I think that sets me apart from other people. DM me. Let's talk about it. DM me, email me, and if we need to, we'll hop on a short info call, a short free info call, and you can ask me your questions about the program. Before you spend more money on your business, make sure that what you're buying is what you really need right then in your business for what you're wanting to do. So many times my clients have spent so much money on things, and they're buying things and courses and programs that they're not ready for, but they don't know that. And so that's where I want you to reach out, ask me your questions. All right, today's topic: why is content marketing important? Does it even matter? Listen, it does matter. It is the key to attraction marketing. And you know, that's what I teach, attraction marketing. Pulling your ideal clients to you, attracting your ideal clients. Your audience of ideal clients are going to want to stick around with you if you're providing fun, valuable content. And when they stick around with you and they start swimming around in the pool of your content, that know, like, and trust factor that we all want is deepened, and they're more likely to turn into those leads that turn into buyers. They're more likely to buy your stuff if they know you, they like you, they trust you, they've seen your content, they know your expertise, and that's how you reach them, is with content marketing. Your brand identity and your brand authority as the expert are built through your content. Providing that valuable content positions you as the go-to expert on your subject matter. Have I always been known as the go-to source for visibility and email list growth? No. For helping people get double their income, double their profits on their launches? No. Double their revenue? No. It took time. It took showing up, delivering content day after day, even when I didn't feel like it. Does that surprise you? As positive and sunshiny and happy and productive as I am, and how much I love my business, there are weeks where I'm like, I've got to create another live training. Oh my gosh, I don't feel like it. Seriously, I do. No, I mean, I hope that doesn't shock anybody or upset you, but it's the truth. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. I have to do it anyway. That's the reality of our business. So let's talk about why content marketing and creating that content consistently. That word is so key, you guys. You hear me say, if you've spent any length of time with me at all, you know that I say consistency and patience are the wonder twins of business success. And it's the truth with anything else. And I want to give you this one visual really quick that I heard from Ed Milet on a podcast interview this week. It was brilliant. And it's really helped me understand that consistency and visualize it. So Visualize you're building your business. This is a wall. This is you hitting the wall. You're creating the content. And like, this is the social media wall. This is the wall keeping you from getting to your ideal clients. You're creating the content day after day, consistently. You're being patient. You're hitting the wall, hitting the wall, hitting the wall. At some stage, that wall is going to break wide open. When is that? We don't know. Is it the 5th strike on the wall? Is it the 10th strike on the wall? Or think of it like a piñata. Was it really the last swipe from that last kid that hit the piñata that cracked that sucker open? Or did every hit all along contribute to cracking that sucker wide open? So that's why we've got to be consistent and patient and show up and do the work. And it feels difficult because we make it difficult. We're trying to make it perfect. We're overthinking. We're second guessing. We care so much and we want to deliver such good stuff to our ideal clients that we really do overthink it. Or is this what they're going to want to hear? Or is this good enough? And we second guess. And most importantly, we think it's got to be super fancy with fireworks and sparklers attached to it. We think every word has to be the very right, perfect word. And we think every graphic has to be absolutely unique, like nothing anybody has ever seen before. You guys, this isn't true. I don't know, was it Mark Twain who said there really is nothing left original under the sun? Obviously, there are some inventions still going on that nobody's ever seen before. But in marketing and creating online businesses and things like that, there's not a lot of stuff that's new. In my argument, okay, my opinion. We think, and I know this because I coach you, I know you, and I help you work through these things. We think that what seems easy and simple to us, to you, isn't going to be valuable to others because it's not super fancy. If it's simple, it must not be right. And you think that if it doesn't take you 3 full days with no sleep to create it, that it's not going to have an impact. Just because it's not hard as heck doesn't mean that it's not valuable and that it's not going to land with your audience and that it's not going to attract your ideal clients to you and that it's not going to bring you money. You do not have to struggle in business. Instagrammers, and I'm going to repeat that for my Facebookers, my YouTubers, and my LinkedIners. You do not have to struggle in business. We can build these businesses with ease because I've done it and I help my clients do it. And listen, I want you to know, full disclosure, I've felt like this. I've been there. That's why I know what I'm talking about. My clients and students have been there. I've been there. I don't know a single entrepreneur who hasn't thought all of those things, that it's got to be perfect, that every word's got to be perfect, every graphic has to be perfect, fireworks, sparklers, the perfect word. No, stop. Make it easy. And remember, here's something else I want you to hear. If you're multitasking, I want you to stop, lean in, and listen to me. Remember that what seems simple and easy to you is aligned with your gifts and your talents. And that's why it feels effortless. It's authentic to you. It's the work that you should be doing. And this, in my opinion, is what God has placed you here for. God, universe, angels, spirit guides, I believe in them all. Whatever you believe in is wonderful. That's how I believe. And that doesn't mean you have to believe the same thing. But when it feels easy and when it feels effortless, you will think you're not on the right track, but you are. Don't let that scare you. How comforting is that? Stop thinking that content creation, content marketing, and your business growth has to be achieved through a struggle, through a slog. I am proof, and my clients and my students are proof that it doesn't. So let's talk about why does content marketing feel like it takes forever to get traction, to begin to see that list growth, that engagement, that audience growth, that follower count go up, and an increase in our income from an increase in our buyers. I've been in marketing and sales and business growth for over 20 years. And back in the day, marketing was a 60 to 90 day cycle. That was in person, boots on the ground, sales, business development as a representative for the companies that I worked for. 60 to 90 day cycle was the norm back then. What you did right now was going to pay off 60 to 90 days from now. The online space is completely different. This is a completely different animal. It takes longer in the online space. And now with the advent of platforms like TikTok and Reels that have literally made our attention spans even shorter. Combine that with how loud the online space has become. It's taking longer. And I researched some of this to bring this training to you guys. I was like, I'm curious, what are some of the experts saying? So I researched some of the online sources about content marketing cycles in the online space. And what I found was kind of a mix, but they all said kind of the same thing, which it takes several months. I saw 3 to 6 months. I saw 4 to 5 months. I saw 6 to 9 months. Which one's right? Don't know. It depends on your business, your audience, and your efforts. You could hit the mark and bust through that wall in 3 months, but you've got to be on point and you've got to be consistent and you can't get discouraged. So my question for you today is, are you truly giving your content marketing efforts enough time? Are you going all in on content creation? Are you allowing your audience to see, understand, expect your content cycle, your weekly regular content that's just for them? Amy Porterfield is a mentor of mine. I learned this from her years ago. You have to have regular weekly content. Mine is my live training coming to you live every Thursday at 11:30. It may switch in the future to a podcast format. I don't know. But for right now, this is what works for me. But I had to go all in on this and get consistent with it. So are you being consistent? And are you being patient? And again, you know that I believe those are the wonder twins of business success. Patience and consistency are not sexy. They are not fun. Absolutely not. My cup runneth short on patience, truly, most days. But I'm going to tell you, consistency has been my best friend. When I started building in this online space, consistency was the key. I've told you this. I kept showing up day after day, week after week, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I didn't think anybody was listening. And in the beginning, nobody was. I think it was my husband and my sister and maybe one of our kids. I don't know, my mom. But when nobody was listening, when my audience was small, that I was going forward with the end in mind, going forward thinking I'm going to reach as many people as I possibly can, and I'm going to help as many online entrepreneurs as I possibly can. Kept showing up, and it's paid off for me big time. The online space, you know how loud it is. And if you're going to cut through the noise and you're going to make a name for yourself and a brand for yourself, we've got to be patient, consistent, unflappable. And again, I know this because I've experienced it. My clients and my students do too. And I know you do too. Put that in the comments. Throw that in the chat. Listen, let's just be honest for a second. Overnight successes are not overnight successes. And anyone that tells you that they can take you from 100 followers to 10,000 followers in a short period of time is trying to sell you a bag of magic beans. It's not feasible. That's not how the online space and content marketing works. And one final point, I know I'm going a little bit longer than I planned to today. One final point, remember that your content creation must lead to list growth. All roads lead to email list building. Otherwise, what you're doing is a waste of time. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. Every single business needs to grow their email list, whether you're brick and mortar, whether you're service-based only, whether you're product-based only, whether you're online, whether you're global or local, doesn't matter. Every single business owner needs an email list. So I want you to think through, what calls to action will you use for engagement, for directing your audience to your email list? Because when you create content, and when you create content for your lead magnets, your free things that you're going to give to people, think through, where are your lead magnets leading your clients? What's the next step you want them to take with you? A few weeks ago, I did a live training on both of these things. Where are your lead magnets leading your clients? And then last week's live training was all about calls to action. If you're using them effectively, what they are, how you can do a better job with them, you can grab both of those trainings. TracyBeavers.com/CTA, all lowercase. TracyBeavers.com/magnet, all lowercase. Create valuable content consistently. Use your calls to action so that content works for you to grow your list. Stay patient. Write that on a sticky note and post it on your laptop. Consistency and patience. Post it in your bathroom if you have to. And I've got a free download for you this week. It's going to make your content creation life a lot easier when it comes to social media topics and what to say, and even live trainings or podcast episodes you want to do. Go to TracyBeavers.com/social. You're going to grab my free guide. It's a short video and a guide to creating 90 days of social media content topics in only 30 minutes. All right, I'm going to hop over into where I can see the questions. Give me one sec. And I do have a couple of people that I'm going to scroll back through. Okay. I got a couple people that already asked questions, and Instagrammers, I'm going to be looking down here at Facebook really quick. All right. Anna asked a question. She's an author. She writes books for children and young adults, and she also teaches people how to write. She also helps other authors. And her question was how to market to both. She's wondering about the messaging because she feels like she needs to market to the parents, but she also has to market to the kids, right? And so this can get a little bit tricky. And here's what I want to say, full disclaimer from me. These are my opinions. Every coach you talk to, we should have about the same answer for you, but some of us are going to have different opinions. That doesn't make us right. This is just my opinion. My thought is you want to market to the parents because they're the ones with the money. But you also want to market to the kids because they're the ones who are going to say to the parents, hey, I want to buy this book. And some kids nowadays have their own money. Our kids had their own money when they were young because we would have them help us with things. And we didn't want them asking us for money all the time. And we wanted them to learn how to budget it. So here's what I would suggest. And this is just spitballing an idea based on a little time I took to think through this. The parents are likely on Facebook and Instagram. So your marketing there is going to be more directed to the parents about your books, about what's cool about them, about why their kids are going to love them, about why their kids are going to be so freaking excited and love and be like, oh my God, you're the best parent ever for getting them that book. The kids are going to be on Snapchat and TikTok. Don't know anything about Snapchat. But I do know people that have had success on it with their products. And then obviously TikTok is all the rage with kids. So I hope that helps. Also, you could do a contest. Like if they shared your post, tagged you, you've seen some of those on Instagram where the company will say, you can win XYZ if you share this on your feed, tag 3 friends, or answer this question or enter this quiz or whatever. So you could have that kind of contest running for your books where the kids, if they start to share this with their friends, that you're going to get more traction with it. The other thought I had is, and I don't know if you're doing this, and unfortunately Anna couldn't be on live, but make sure that you're using their reviews of your book, their words, their testimonials, if you will, in your marketing. To showcase and get people intrigued about, oh, well, if that person liked it, then I bet I would too. Okay, so then I've got a question from Jane. Jane is an awesome website developer, and she couldn't be here live either. She wanted tips for posts on Instagram that are not educational content, and they don't, and I'm not going to make her get on live video. So Jane doesn't want to be on video herself, and she's tired of giving the educational content, maybe not tired of it, but she wants to shake things up a little bit. She wants to shake the snow globe, as we said. All right, so here's what here's some ideas that I had seriously, I got these when I was out walking the dog. So Jane, on Instagram, you can post some personal things, tie them back into business. I'm going to give you an example. So our son, back when he was in high school, had an opportunity to go play in a high school football Catholic Bowl tournament in Dallas, Texas, at the Star. This was massive, okay? This is where the Cowboys practice. These high school teams they were competing against were Texas high school Catholic teams, okay? Our Catholic team here in Little Rock, we were good. We weren't that good. It was a massive David and Goliath moment. Now, I took that picture of our son in his football jersey. That's a personal thing. That lets people on Instagram, that opens the door to my personal life, lets people see a little glimpse of me and my son. And I tied it back into business by saying, have you ever had a David and Goliath moment in your business? Our son is doing this. He's going to Dallas to play in this big stadium. It is literally a David and Goliath moment. And that got me thinking about how I have those moments in my business. Share with me yours below. So you can take a personal post, personal item, your cat, maybe is your favorite coworker, and turn it into tie it back into website development, tie it back into business, use it for engagement. Also, do you have any lead magnets? I know those are kind of educational also, but make sure you're using your lead magnets on Instagram as a call to action. You can record an audio in Canva, I believe. People that are techie know this better than I do, but I have seen Instagram posts that are not video, but they have the squiggly going through it to get people's attention, and it's an audio of that person's voice. You could very easily do an audio on Canva. And Jane, my assistant Jill is in this group. If you have questions about that, she's a Canva pro. So is Brenda Cadman that's in this group. They will help you. I know they would. My other thought was that you could do a reel using graphics and your voice. You don't have to be on video for that. What about a quote from you about website development? What about a quote from testimonials, client wins? What about a quote from somebody else? Somebody like, let's say you see a Mel Robbins quote that you feel like can tie back into website development or content creation or copy development or whatever, the things that you're working on for people in websites, tie that back in. It's sort of educational, but it's also inspirational and motivational. And then engagement. Oh, things like this or that. Like, you could post 2 different types of website homepages and say, which one is your favorite? Or this or that would be, what's your, like, do they like Wix or do they like Weebly? Do they like WordPress? Do they like Kajabi? And that is about, and what about doing your favorite beverage? My favorite thing to drink when I'm creating website content and developing a website for somebody is coffee. I like to have pumpkin spice, whatever in it. What's your favorite thing? And show a picture of your coffee mug. So Jane, let me know if that helps you. Just, again, spitballing some ideas. Let me get through here and see if we've got any other questions. Oh, somebody said, you mean you aren't Pollyanna all the time? No, I can drop a bad word and I can get frustrated and impatient, and I have days where I don't want to work. So there. Does that surprise y'all? All right. Drama brains make it harder. Yes, got it. People are saying they're guilty of overthinking and over planning. Big capital letters. You do not have to struggle in business. Amen. Thank you. I love that. You do not. Okay. Shonda asked, so when you have material you want to revisit and reuse in a blog, do you delete the old blogs or just rework and add new? Shonda, my opinion is don't make this harder than it is. Don't delete anything. Because if you're using, when you're writing your blogs, if you are doing SEO keywords and really using the SEO juice, you don't want to lose that history, in my opinion. So I would go forward with new. I would take what you are doing and maybe change around the title a little bit. Maybe if you gave 5 tips on the last blog, maybe give 2 this time, expand on them. The thing is, our attention spans are short and our memories are short too. So no offense, but if you're taking a blog that you wrote 6 months ago and you've reworked it and you've put it out as new, guaranteed I'm not going to recognize that. Unless I am literally following, my glasses are crooked, unless I'm literally following every word you're saying every single day. Okay, Amy Porterfield, I mention her all the time, mentor for me. She says that they take old podcast topics and they rework them. It's not the same format. It's not the exact same training, but yes, absolutely. Make it easier on yourself. I do this also. I'll go back and look at a live training I did a year ago, and I might do the actual same thing, but zhuzh it up a little bit and give a little bit more context. Maybe make it a little bit more 2023-ish. I hope that helps. Yes, Michael says being unflappable while I wait for the ROI is the hardest part. You are so right. You are so, so right. Okay, how do you repurpose your long form content? Okay, so, and I can't see your name, but I'm assuming you mean things like blogs, maybe a podcast, a live training. So like, let me give you an example of what we do, my team and I do. So I literally have a script, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I could be this brilliant just off the top of my head. The problem is my brain might shut off and I'll forget to say the things I wanted to say. Kind of like when you get an argument with somebody and then half an hour later, you're like, I should have said this. I should have said that. I don't want that to happen to me. So when I get on here, I want to be able to have my notes, my intro, the meat of what I'm going to give you, the outro. I got my call to action there. That's how I've gotten good at delivering this training to you in a clear, concise way. So I write all that out. In the beginning, when it was just me, I would look at it and pull, repurposing that long form content, pull out the blog content. Okay. Then I would pull out things that I could use for social media posts. Now what I do, because I've got Jill, is I give her the Google Doc, the notes. And so, for example, if I've got 4 tips on there, she'll pull 2 and create 1 social media post. She'll pull the other 2 create a social media post. She'll create graphics of what I've said, and then she'll have me audio to make a reel where I don't have to get on video, and that repurposes it. Then, I'm repurposing it for my blog. I'm going to have a podcast in the future. There, I said it. It's going to happen. Now it has to happen because I said it. But that content is going to come from this content. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel, because remember, our attention spans are short. So get your long form content and break it down. Jill even will take a quote from me, like business building doesn't have to be a struggle. That's something I say a lot. She'll create that on a graphic as a quote from me, quoting myself, and then we'll post it and I'll talk about it in the copy. I hope that helps. Somebody said, what was the link for social media again? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was the free download. Okay. Somebody said and Selena said she needs a Jill. Y'all, let me tell you something. Actually, okay, we've got like another minute. Does anybody have another question? I don't see any other ones. Here's what I want to say to you about that. Everybody needs a Jill, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you how to get a Jill. You have to hire somebody before you can afford it. That's scary, is it not? Okay, so we've been together, Jill and I have been together almost 2 years. Wow, that went by in a hurry. I hope she's having as much fun with it as I am. But when I was thinking about hiring her, I could afford it technically on paper. I could, but I was scared. Not gonna lie to you. I was scared. I was like, first of all, this is money coming out of my business. I'm not making the gazillion dollars yet. I didn't even have 5-figure months back then. And the other thing was, Jill's my friend. And I didn't want to start her down the road of having this extra income if it wasn't something I could sustain. It's like being a business owner where you've got a team of employees and you're like, I got to keep the engines running to keep these people employed, right? Because they depend on these paychecks. So there was that pressure there too. But let me tell you something. And I said this to the Business Visibility Made Easy group this morning as well. Hire before you can afford it. Even if it is just 2 to 3 hours a week, $15 to $25 an hour. Do it. You will be amazed at how much more money you can make when you make that investment in your business. You will be amazed at how much more energy you're going to have, because you're going to have another brain right there with you, spitballing ideas, giving you ideas, making your graphics or whatever it is you hire them to do. And the other thing is, you're going to have the white space you need, the time that you need to get clarity. And I can't tell you what a difference it's made in my business. And here's the thing, depending on who you hire, it doesn't have to be a long-term thing. Try it out for a few months. Give it 90 days. And if it's not working, if it's not doing the things that I'm telling you it did for me, then shut it down and wait and try again. All right, I'm going to check really quick. Oh, Jill said she's in it for the long haul. Thank goodness. Okay, my friends, I don't have any more questions. Remember, Thursday, 11:30 Central, I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes of training. Then I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A. If you can't make it live, Instagrammers, LinkedIn, YouTube, I'm talking to you. Come into the Facebook group, be a confident entrepreneur, get visible and grow your income. And you'll see the live Q&A post, and you can post your questions there if you can't make it live. Jane couldn't make it live. Anna couldn't make it live. I think I answered their questions pretty well, but they are members of the group. So then they can go in and they can comment and they can say, hey, I need clarity, or we can get into the DMs, or we could hop on Voxer. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to help you guys out. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that everything today has helped you. I want to know what you want to learn more about. It helps me bring great content to you and make sure that I'm actually helping you. And I say this every single week. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. It's a roller coaster. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling and everybody shows up to your live. And other days, nobody shows up to your live and nobody can remember your name. And believe it or not, that happened to me a few weeks ago. I don't think we had anybody on live with me, but it's fine. Consistency and patience. And if you think you're alone, you're not. We all feel that way. And when you're ready for strategies that are going to get you more visibility, more list growth, more income, I want you to set that free info call with me and talk about my programs. Is Business Visibility Made Easy, the group coaching, the best fit for you? Is coaching with me one-to-one the best fit for you? Is none of it the best fit for you? We can find out if we have a chat. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And remember, when one of us rises, we all rise. So we have got to keep cheering each other on. I will see you guys next week.